Oh. So tomorrow is the big day. Ladies and gents, let's talk about that, shall we? Good day, ladies and gents, it's Yasuga here, and tomorrow seems to be a very important day for Honkai Star Rail players, because tomorrow is the game's very first anniversary. But before we proceed to that, I would like to let you know two things. First up, I have noticed that my YouTube channel has become more aligned to Honkai Star Rail content, be it from memes to gacha pulls to the themed events that I have been attending recently, which is honestly goes without saying that Honkai Star Rail has impacted me as a content creator. And second of all, I gotta admit that Honkai Star Rail has become one of my favorite mobile games ever. Not just because of its, all overall gameplay, not just because of the voice actors and actresses, but also because the game itself is not just a game. It's an adventure that is not one and done. And I am actually looking forward to Hoyoverse in providing more wonderful experiences in the coming years. And which also means that this is actually helpful for a small content creator like myself, because well, it seems that I have managed to establish something for my channel. Well, other than Teppen, other than Teppen, because Teppen has also been a staple for my channel, although I don't make much content for it lately. I have yet to do episode 20 of Teppen for Dummies, and it's been long overdue, and I'm sorry about that, ladies and gents, for those who are actually looking forward to the next episode. But it also means that Honkai Star Rail really has a huge impact for my channel, because we have seen the cover for If I Can Stop One Heart From Breaking, which is now over 400 views, mind you, and it may not be that great, but those views are really appreciated, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, ladies and gents. Also, now that we are here, let's just discuss my overall thoughts about the first anniversary of Honkai Star Rail, because, not gonna lie to you, Honkai Star Rail has provided us with some of the more thought-provoking stories and some of the most interesting characters that this game has ever created. And it all started in the Penacony patch. We got Firefly, we got Gallagher, we got Sunday, we got Aventurine, and we got Best Girl Robin. Like, wow! Talk about a cornucopia of characters that you may or may not like, but this also means that throughout the year of Honkai Star Rail, there's a lot of characters that have been released that are either great, phenomenal, or just, well, downright subpar at best. But I'm not here to discuss about the subpar bits. I am here to discuss my top 5 favorite characters that has been released this year, regardless of element, regardless of path. Because if I am going to do a longer list, we're gonna be here for a very long time. And for those who are wondering, I tried recording a similar video where I discuss some of the favorite characters that I have for each path. I'm not happy about it, and it has a very, very long video. Almost an hour. I have made that video, recorded that video for almost an hour. And I was not happy with the results. Probably because that I was stuttering and there are some things that are beyond my control, but nonetheless, I'm retaking it, and we're gonna do a top 5 instead. So, let's do this together, ladies and gents. Are you excited? Because I sure do. Okay, now let me just, Ha! Knew it! Best girl Robin is best! Haha! Okay, so, let's start with top 5. This character has been my longest running healer for a very long time until I was given a better 5-star character. And that character is Lynx. I refer to the longest running healer that I have. Yeah, so Lynx is a 4-star quantum character that has numerous gimmicks that really makes her stand out. First of all, she's quantum, meaning she has an element to take advantage of, and there are a lot of characters, a lot of dangerous opponents that are weak to quantum. Second of all, she has a unique property for her heal. Whenever a preservation or a destruction character has been healed by her skill, they gotta get targeted more often. Meaning, if you are using a Jeopard or Blade, they will have a lot more mileage because for Jeopard, he already has a higher aggro rate because he's a preservation character. And with Lynx's skill, his aggro rate was gonna go even higher, which means that he will be able to access his ultimate a lot more often because of getting hit. And if you are using Blade, it also means that his talent uptime will be a lot quicker, allowing him to deal more damage and allows him to sustain himself for a very long time. Which is actually pretty nice because Blade would really need that taunt so that he could be able to get hit more often, so that he could, use his talent more often and be able to, deal more damage, because the lower the HP he gets, the greater the damage he deals. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the gist of it, or at least that's how I understood his kit and all. But so yeah, nonetheless, if you have Lynx with you, be sure to power her up. Do not dismiss her as, a budget healer or something. Sure, you can use Bailu and Natasha, but first of all, Bailu's RNG heals is not as efficient and helpful in the long run, and Natasha's single heal cleanse is not really that ideal for situations in which you are dealing with multiple characters that, that deal status ailments, and you don't want that to happen, right? Right? Unless if you're the kind of person who is a glutton for punishment and all, so I guess you could go for those characters and not Lynx. But nonetheless, Lynx is actually pretty helpful, so jokes aside, you really should power her up. Also, Lynx is the youngest member of the Landau siblings, and she kind of reminds me of myself because not only she has aspirations for her own, but she also hangs out with a best buddy, being Pela, which kind of reminds me of me whenever me and my best buddy, do some videos together, hanging out, chilling like bros, having a fun time. Good times. Alright, so, number 4. So who is basically my number 4? I would go with Silverwolf. I don't know about you, but Silverwolf, she may not be used as often anymore, but in my opinion, she is basically the most useful character that you could ever have. Especially if you're the kind of player who relies on a lot of party coverage. Because her skill can apply a weakness to an enemy, which means that if you are basically using like 3 quantum characters and an imaginary character, you got your bases covered, meaning there is no reason for you not to weakness break an enemy at least once, at least one enemy, which is actually pretty useful because Silverwolf has been one of my longest running nihility characters that I ever used. Well, probably followed by Gwynethyn, but she's she's a force type and she has different gimmicks. But Silver Wolf, in my opinion, is considered to be a beginner-friendly character that offers a lot, especially if you are lacking weakness covers. If you're lacking, you know, characters in order for you to cover your bases when exploiting enemy weaknesses. And Quantum is a very useful element early on in the game, because there are some characters that are a lot of mobs that are weak to Quantum and all, also physical, mind you. But Silver Wolf has that unique property that actually makes battles really easy. So if you manage to get Silver Wolf, you got yourself a good deal. Sure, she may not be a healer and all, but her utility alone makes up for the lack of heals, and that's actually a good thing, because I've used Silver Wolf for a long time now, especially with Acheron now in Star Rail. She becomes even more useful than ever. Alright, so number 3. Number 3 is basically my replacement to Lynx, but she has also provided me more than just heals, more than just cleanses. She provides an energy boost, and that character is the scaredy cat of the Ten Lords Commission herself, Hua Hua. Hua Hua! Ever since getting her, not gonna lie to you, has... how could I say this? Upon getting Hua Hua, it lost my strive to get Luocha ever since getting her. Because you wanna know why? Not only does she heals, not only does she cleanses, but as I've mentioned before, she provides energy, not just for one, not just for 2 characters, but she provides energy to everyone in the party. Well, except for Hua Hua herself, that would make it broken. But if she provides energy to everyone else in the party, which means that it makes their ultimate uptime even quicker. Especially for those who are, you know, who rely on energy for their ultimates. You know, like Imbiber Lune, Sparkle, even Argenti, especially Argenti. Because Argenti has 2 levels for its ultimate. One for 90 energy, and one for 180 energy. And Hua Hua herself is basically a supercharged Harmony character with abundance properties. I couldn't consider her as a full abundance character just because of that gimmick alone. That's it. If I were to be given the opportunity whether I should get her Eidolons? Probably not, because at E0 she is already useful. Although, I would probably get her Light Cone because I heard that there's a lot of good things about her Light Cone. And some people have been equipping it on Luocha with massive success. So yeah, Hua Hua, if you encounter her rerun, get her as soon as possible, because she is very useful. She is basically a 5-star Ting Yun. A 5-star Ting Yun. That's basically the TLDR of what Hua Hua can do. So for number 2, I'm gonna go for a tie here, and they're both Harmony characters, Sparkle and Ruan Mei. Sparkle because, as an Imbiber Lune main, I'm having trouble in collecting SP, because Imbiber Lune needs 3 SP in order for him to unleash a powerful attack, which is basically his main source of damage. But that is also his greatest flaw. And if you are caught in a situation where you do not have the SP to retaliate, you're basically screwed. And that is where Sparkle kicks in, because not only does she can heal your SP, but she provides 2 more additional maximum SP. What? This is actually very beneficial for a lot of players that rely on damage dealers like Argenti, like Jingwan, especially Jingwan, because with Sparkle, Jingwan is starting to make a resurgence. And keep in mind that Sparkle has ran alongside a Jingwan rerun, so pretty coincident. That's not a coincidence. They want Jingwan to be great again. And especially in Baiba de Lune and even Qingque for some reason. People have been seeing a resurgence of Qingque users because SP. She consumes SP to make her attacks even greater. And that already goes without saying, but Sparkle is just a very fun character to have, and if you miss her out, then I really cannot blame you. Because, yeah, in the story, she can be a little bit annoying. She's kind of like Hu Tao, but way worse. She just wants all chaos to happen around her because, you know, for the lols. And as for the other character, Ruan Mei. Ruan Mei is one of the most broken piece of support character that I have ever seen. Even more broken than Bronya and Sparkle combined. She may not provide additional maximum SP for your character, but she is not just a damage amplifier. She also a break support. She is the only character at the moment that utilizes the break effect effectively. Like, at all. She's basically the easy mode for Harmony characters. Once you unlock Ruan Mei, you almost basically win the game because she not only provides a damage buffer, not just a break amplifier, but she also extends the break state of an already broken enemy, which actually makes fights a lot quicker. Especially if you're the kind of person who wants to end battles quickly, then Ruan Mei is a very important pillar for your damaging party. If you're going to build a hyper carry, you should never leave Ruan Mei behind because she can help you deal with those weaknesses even further. And if you are playing with Silverwolf, oh boy, she can break way harder. Although not gonna lie to you, I am not pretty sure whether to turn her into a damage dealer of sorts, because not only that I lack a dedicated ice DPS, as much as I want to, to pull for Jing Liu's rerun, I can't. Because, you wanna know why? Best Girl Robin is just around the corner. And I cannot afford to waste any more Stellar Jades for the likes of, that twink of a gambler, that guy with a hat. I do not want to waste my gems despite being good. But, needless to say, I am not entirely sure whether to power up Ruan Mei as a damage dealer. She's a support. I always treat her as a support. Okay, for my top one. There has been recent characters that have been released that made me question my sanity. Because not only did they're phenomenal, but they exceeded the expectations of... Basically, they outclassed my favorite character for this year. And these two are Donghong in Baiba de Lune, the one I referred to that has been outclassed, and Acheron, who has been recently introduced, and you guessed it, she deals way more damage than in Baiba de Lune. But there's a caveat on that. So, let me explain first my thoughts about Baiba de Lune first, because Baiba de Lune is my main damage dealer and my main character. at the moment, because not only that he is a premier damage dealer of the imaginary element, but he's also one of the few destruction characters that has a unique gimmick. As I've mentioned before, he requires SP in order to improve his basic attacks. Not 1, not 2, but he needs 3 SP to maximize the power of his basic attacks. Sounds good, right? Sounds good on paper. But his greatest strength, as I mentioned before, is also his most glaring weakness. Because, as I've said, if you are caught at the wrong time, then you're screwed. And that is where Sparkle kicks in, actually. And you know the rest. But then there's Acheron. Oh, Acheron, the emanator of nihility herself. How on earth did someone like her deal so much damage with just minimum investment? Like, sure, there's Jing Liu and all, but she's also a destruction character. But keep in mind, Acheron is a nihility character. She is not a destruction character. And you know what makes her even better? Her ultimate ignores weakness. She can basically whittle down that weakness gauge of an opponent even though that they are not weak to lightning. What? There's only another character that can do that, and it's a 4-star. Her name is Shui Yi, and no one even... And there's only a few people that use her. But Acheron? Although, I mean, to be fair, her ultimate deals damage to everyone, not just for a single enemy. But still, it just proves to show that power creep is relevant. It's imminent. It's inevitable in Honkai Star Rail, and there's no escaping that. But I'm glad that I got both of those characters, because this would give me a lot more coverage, especially for a lot of teams that requires a lot more setup. But as I've said, Acheron has a unique caveat to her damage output. You see, she needs 1 to 2 more nihility characters in order for her to actually shine. And her signature light code will make her even better. But that's the problem. Not only does Acheron requires 2 nihility characters, but in order for her to shine further, she needs her second Eidolon, which not a lot of players have the luxury to get. And that is what makes Acheron a double-edged sword. She provides phenomenal damage, but this requires you to sacrifice your team setup. You have to sacrifice sustains in order for her to damage further. You can, your party could consist of 3 nihility characters and an abundance character. But there are some characters, or rather enemies, that deals a lot more damage to the point that they can, out-damage your heals. And that is dangerous. It's a dangerous prospect if you're going to focus on an all-out offensive build, if you're going for Acheron. And that's also the reason why I don't use her as often as Imbibed or Lune, because Imbibed or Lune doesn't have that limitation. He only needs free SP. That's all he does in order for him to deal tremendous amounts of damage. Although Acheron's gimmick of, ignoring weakness shields, ignoring toughness, is basically her main selling point, which actually is pretty good if you ask me. And this is also the reason why I put those 2 on my top 5 list. Kinda makes it like a top 8 or sorts, but yeah. That's all I can say about some of the characters that I really enjoy playing, as well as the cream of the crop in my account. Sure, I haven't mentioned the likes of Aventurine and Fushuan, but I don't have those characters. I basically focus on characters that I have, and I have experienced in play. So, yeah. My apologies if your favorites are not on this list. This video is opinionated, it's not supposed to be taken seriously, and it's made for fun. Nonetheless, I hope all of you ladies and gents have a very wonderful first anniversary for Honkai Star Rail. Don't forget to click the notification bell if you want more videos from Yasuga. Also, don't forget to leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for similar content like this. Feel free to, stick around, and may our journey lead us ever starward. Bye! Wait. Oh, Robin, you are such a cutie.